Hello. Hello, hello, hello. You can hear me, yes? Perfect. Sue, bless you. Thank you for the stars there. How are we all? Hello, hello, hello. Excuse me. I can't hear me now. Oh, okay. Basically, I had both microphones running, so I just basically turned one of them off. So I think it just took a moment to switch onto just the one instead of both of them working. But hello, 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 hello. How is everyone? Did you have a good start to your week? Mim's on today, and again, she's extra sensitive. Like, oh, a minute ago I did that, and she's like, hello, Anne, bless you. Thank you for your stars there. Thank you. Okay, so there's lots going on at the moment. We have our deal of the day. Now, we used to have a deal of the day or deal of the week. So I thought today we're going to bring back deal of the day. Now, there's only a few left, and once they're all gone, they are gone. So our bat cage pendant is normally £34, and the deal of the day is £24. And then that deal, obviously, it will go back to normal price tomorrow if there is any left on the website. So we do have the deal of the day on the website. We've still got the mini sparkle dip. We've still got the normal sparkle dip. Halloween oysters are available. Tantalising treats are available. Donna, yeah, if you've got an order, then I can add to it. Just let me know once it's your turn. That's not a problem. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, that sounds good, Suzanne. Okay, so shall we get started? I've posted an order list on the page. I did just update that order list as well, about 10 minutes ago ish. So if you have ordered, you can see whereabouts you are on the order list. Also, if you would like to order, there is still spaces available as well. Okay, I've just refreshed it. There is a couple of you who aren't on the order list yet, but you will be once I update it. You'll be on the next update, okay? So, up first today, I can't stop yawning. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Can I have a tea, please? Yep, Lisa, just let us know when you're back and I can add you back in again to the end of the order list. It's not a problem. Okay, up first today is Janet Lloyd. Janet, are you here? Hello, Luke. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to everybody joining. Leanne, bless you. Thank you for your stars there. And Candice, thank you for the stars as well. So I'm looking for Janet Lloyd. Janet, are you here? While we're waiting to see if Janet is here, I will say you might have all got bombarded yesterday with me making all the events from now through to just before Christmas. So all the way November and December live dates are in our events section on the page. Now, if you definitely like a notification, go and click that you're going to those events, and Facebook will definitely notify you. And then, of course, on that day and time, you can then choose whether you'd like to join the live or not. But yeah, they're definitely all posted there, so you can go through and click that you're going to them if you would like the notification. So, hello, hello, hello. Janet, hello. Okay, so Janet, shall we do your mini sparkle dip to start with? So you've got 2 mini sparkle dips here. So if we get the bag and if we give them a mix. And then if we dive in here, so this is your first one. I'm going to grab a good sized pinch. Oh, quite a few fell then. Okay, and you have a crystal heart to start with. Now, if you're happy with this one, that's perfect. You can stick. If you're not happy, you can risk it and you can twist it. So this is a deep emerald green crystal heart. So again, lighter and darker as you go around the heart there, as it catches the light as well. Lola Rose and Danielle, hello, thank you for watching. Janet, you'd like to twist with that one. Okay, so if I bring you back up again, that one is going to be staying out of the bag until after we've done your twist. And then it does get added back in again. So if we just dive in here and just give them a mix. And good luck. Okay, so you have this one here. Let me just put the runaways back in the bag and that green heart back in the bag. Now you have a different type of crystal heart this time and a different colour. So different style and a different colour. So this is the rose pink and you can see that this is the longer, more pointed, thinner at the bottom heart here. And it has that rose pink colour to him. I do hope you're happy with that one, my lovely. And then moving on to your second mini dip. So again, with your second mini dip, you can stick or twist. So if we dive in and give them a mix. And then good luck, my lovely. And in here, with this one, okay, so you have a light amethyst coloured, I think it's the kite. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to remember the shape. It's a square on its side, but I'm thinking on the website, possibly it is the square. So this is a light amethyst square. So this is a light purple, and again, as it moves around, it gets slightly darker in areas there. Now, Janet, if you're happy with this one, you can stick. If you're not happy, you can twist. What do you think, and what would you like to do? Stick with that one. Perfect. I'm glad you're happy with both of those then. Let me just pop them on here for you. You also have 3 openings altogether. What 3 oysters would you like? And would you like to keep, or would you like to donate your shells? What do you think? I think on the website we called it just square. Let me have a look, because it's that shape is on the website in our key rings. Yeah, we've called it square on the website. Also on the website there is a new section, again another new section, so do check that out. Mystery and donates. Now, are there certain colours, Janet, that you're hoping for. So you've got 1, 2 and 3. Now the mystery oysters are running slightly low, and when they've run out I don't have any to top them up until my oyster delivery arrives. So they may run out tonight, it just depends. Okay, so let's go down. Your mystery oyster, you have a lighter, softer pop there. And in here, there is your mother of pearl. And let's have a squidge in here for you. Now I can see a darker pearl towards the side there, and you have a darker pearl there. I'm just going to have a squidge around in here. Okay, so there's no more in that one. And your first pearl out is a darker gunmetal grey. So beautiful darker gunmetal grey to start with. Moving on to oyster number 2, Janet. You have a lighter, smaller pop with that one. And in here, there is your mother of pearl. And let's have a squidge in here. You have a dark purple and you're twinning. You are twinning with dark grape purple twins there. Let me dry these up for you. And here are your dark grape purple twins. Now they are looking different sizes. That's just because they're in a different size hole. So obviously in the 6 it's going to drop down more. So we will measure them at the end for you. Oh, that one has gone through a 6. So possibly both being a 6, but we'll see in a moment. And then moving on to your last oyster. You have a softer pop there. And in here, there is your mother of pearl. And I can see in here you have a watermelon. And there's no more in that one. Okay, so I'm just drying this up for you. And again, if I just pop them on the board so you can have a closer look. Janet, what do you think to all of these? Now, like I say, if you're happy with these, that's perfect. If you're not happy, we can swap them for you. So twinning grape purples, a darker gunmetal grey, and a watermelon as well. What do you think to those? If I run them through the board, your watermelon is not a 7, he is a 7.5. Your gunmetal grey is not a 6.5. He's not a 7. Oh, he is a 7, sorry. Grape number 1 is not a 6. He's a 6.5. Grape number 2 is a 6.5. So they are measuring at different sizes there. Janet, what do you think to those? You will, Rachel, yes. If you'd like a lavender purple, there is going to definitely be a wait on that. We've got quite a bit of an order list now for that lavender purple. So if you don't mind waiting, I can do that for you. Or if you prefer to pick a different colour, do let me know. The other ones though, lime green and dark blue, let me get those. Which colours would you like to swap out? I'm fine, thank you, Natalie. I hope you're well as well. A coffee latte colour. I will do. I don't know if I'm going to have one next to me, but I'll definitely have... Yeah, I don't have one next to me now, but I can definitely pop you down for a swap. There won't be a wait on a coffee latte colour. What colours would you like to... So you've swapped 3, and obviously you've got your 4 pearls there. So I'll show you the 2. Which 3 or which one would you like to keep out of your 4 original? Possibly, Lois. Possibly. So that's the green and the blue. And which one of these did you want to keep? With the Polar Bears gift, can you remember what colours were available? I don't have a very light purple, no. I do have, let me bring you back up. So I don't have light purples available at all. There's definitely going to be quite a bit of a weight on the purples. So you've got originally 4 pearls and you'd like to swap 2 for a dark blue and green. So I need to know what 2 pearls you'd like to swap out. And if you'd like that coffee latte colour, I can definitely add that in. So I'd need a 3rd pearl you'd like to swap out, but I won't be able to do that on the camera because I just don't have any next to me, but I definitely have them, so there won't be a weight on that there. So you've got 4 pearls. I'll need to know what 3 you'd like to swap out for those colours, if that makes sense. And let me go down. This is the Tahitian one. So I'm just trying to get the light to stay still with it. It's because it's on the white card. Does that help? It's like a greeny grey, the Tahitian ones, which Tahitians are. Tahitians are that dark grey with sometimes slight colours in them. So it's like, a dark greeny grey. If I hold you up to this camera as well. I don't think this one's going to focus. Looks slightly more grey there, but like I say, they do have a slight green hint to them. It's not a problem. Let me put them over here now, actually. They're all in their own little bags. Can you swap the last one for a very dark purple? Okay, so we'd like to swap all of the pearls out. I'm with you now. I think that's where I was getting slightly confused. So a deep dark purple. Let's go down so you can see this. Oh. So that's a very dark purple there. So you'd like to be on the waiting list for the light purple. Can you just confirm for me, Janet, that you're happy to be on that waiting list? And like I say, I don't know how long the wait will be. So just confirm for me that you're happy to wait, if that's okay. And just again, if you're happy with those 3 so far as well for you. And I'll write down that you'd like to swap the watermelon for a light purple. Okay, so I'm just waiting for that confirmation. I've got down that you'd like to have them all on lobster fittings. That invoice will get sent through tomorrow for you, and it will go to the email address that's on the order form. Ah, okay, so that's not fine. That's fine for the cafe latte. Sorry, Janet. Okay, so to confirm, I've kept the watermelon on here because then I've wrote down that we're going to swap the watermelon for the cafe latte. Pearl, like I said, there's not a waste on that. I just don't have it next to me, so I can definitely add that in. And then you'd like to be invoiced for them to be on lobster fittings. Now, like I said, that invoice will get sent through tomorrow for you, and it'll go to the email address that's on the order form. You also have a trick or treat. So if I dive in here, and in here with your trick or treat, you have a treat. You have 20% off code for the website, Janet, which means tomorrow you'll get an email from us with a 20% off code, which you'll be able to spend on the website straight away if you would like to order again, or it doesn't have an expiry date, so you can hold on to it if you would like to. Janet, thank you very, very much for the donations of your shells. You're very welcome, and I hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. I've just popped that safe up there for you. The screen will slightly auto-focus in and out, if that helps. Thank you, Bab. So, perfect, Janet. Okay, so, thank you, darling. Yeah. Sorry. Thank you. Up next this evening is Rebecca Leather. Rebecca, are you here? Sorry. Yeah, no, I've got this little desk fan and it was leaning on something. Like the vibrations were leaning on something, not the fan bit. Obviously that's dangerous. So I'm looking for Rebecca Leather. Rebecca, are you here? Now, if you are here, please type I'm invisible. It'll bring your comment forward so I can see you. And if anybody else can see Rebecca, please comment on her comments, because again, that will bring it forward so I can see. So last call for Rebecca Leather. If not, we'll move on. Okay, so I haven't seen her there, so we're going to move on. If she does come on, we can add her in again, but we'll add her in back into the end of the opening. Does the new Stars and Heart bracelet come with an opening? I believe so. Let me just double check for you. But yes, I believe so. You right, Bab? Yeah, dog's in here. He's under the desk. Sorry, the dog's under the desk and Aaron's just realised, like, where's the dog? He doesn't want to come out. He's cosy and warm. Yeah, it does come with an opening, Linda. It does say in the description of the item. Okay, so I'm looking for, up next is Lisa Nightingale. Lisa, are you here? Is he not coming out? Do you know? Show him on camera. He's basically, I've got a bed for the dog under the desk. So while I'm working in the day, here he is, you good boy. Hello. While I'm working the day, he's not alone in the house. So you taking him? Aaron felt lonely without. Oh. Aaron felt lonely without the dog in the house. It took him a long time to realise that the dog was in there, though. Lisa, hello. You have one opening altogether. Mystery and keep your shells. Is there certain colours that you're hoping for? So your mystery oyster. And let's get him open. And let's go down. Oh, bless you, Lisa. Is there a certain colour pearl that you're hoping for with this one? So your mystery oyster. Let me just get this auto thing up. There we go. Okay, so in here, love a rainbow coloured one, but don't think that's possible. No, I mean, we can get like 3 tonal pearls, which are quite rare, but not fully rainbow, I'm afraid, although that would be amazing. Now, I can see straight away you have a icy blue, and there's no more in that one. Do you have another order? Just cleaning up your shells as we go, and then I'm going to hold up this icy blue so you can have a closer look. Now, if you're happy with this one, that's perfect, and we can pop him on your jewellery. Or if you're not happy, we can swap him for you. No, it's not on this one, my lovely. I've just got the item of jewellery on here. I don't have a treat on there. Yeah, so if you have a look at your confirmation order email, it should have the invoice on there, so then you can see what's on the invoice. Or if you've logged into the website when you place the order, you can go and have a look at the order there as well. Or if you'd like me to send the invoice over to you, I can do that. Can you have a gunmetal grey? Of course you can. Now, with the gunmetal greys, let me just have a look here in my darks pot, because I sort of try and make my darks pot as sort of black pearls if I can. Okay, so have a look at this one. This one might be too dark. It's almost black, this one. So if this one's too dark, I can definitely pop you down for a darker gunmetal grey. However, it will definitely be done. I'll just have to do it off the live. So there's not a wait for them. Actually, let me have a look in the swap pot. Oh, I have one here. Which would you prefer? Oh, they're very, very similar. Would you prefer number 1 or number 2? Let me just come a bit closer. Number 1 or number 2? So number 1 is almost black, and number 2 is just that slightly lighter. You can see he's more gunmetal grey. You prefer a more silver grey. I mean, I'm just going through the swap pot now. We've got this one. Oh, hang on. And we can go darker than that, actually. I've just thought, I know what I can show you. If I actually get the silver shades pot. Because in here, look at these colours, are absolutely stunning. How about one like that one? how about, oh, the one on number 7. Okay, so how about now 6, this one or this one? So this was the one that was on number 7 before. And oh, sorry, Lisa, I've given too. I do it every time. I give too much choice. So if we narrow it down to these two, would you prefer the lighter one on number 1 or the darker one on number 2? It's just because I want you guys to be happy that I am. Number 7, the darker one. Okay, that one is yours. If I bring you back up again, and I'll pop him on here. And I'm just wrapping up your shells as well. Okay, perfect. So if I just write your name on your shells for you. Oh, bless you, not a problem. You do, however, get a trick or treat. So if I just dive in here for you. And your trick or treat is in here. You have a treat. You have a 20% off code, Lisa. So you'll get an email from us tomorrow. And if you would like to order again, you'll have this 20% off code that you'll be able to use. You would be able to use it straight away, or you can hold on to it because it doesn't have an expiry date. I've wrapped up your shells and that's all safe up there for you. So I do hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. I'm fine, thank you. I hope you're well as well, Chanel. Lisa, you're very, very welcome. Up next is Carol Grant, and Carol, you are ready to go. So here, Evil Knievel, donate 1 shell and wait and see what comes out. Hoping for the flower charm. Okay, I'm just going to pin that because I'm going to forget the second half. More monthly charm deals. Let me write it down, Emma. It is on my to-do list to do. I've got so many post-its of stuff that I need to do. And now Kia was working. Honestly, the amount of stuff we're getting done is amazing, which before I won't have been able to get it all done on that sort of day. So yeah, if I make a note, and I'll just see if I can bump that up the list, because I have wrote it. It is on the list. Monthly charm deals, Jan 2022. Oh, 2022. Okay, so you'd like Evil Knievel number 1 and donate your shells. So as you can see, Evil Knievel, oh, I don't know if you can see, let me move the camera. There we go. Evil Knievel's this one at the very end here. Number 1's the one at the top. So as you can see here, Evil Knievel, and let's get him open for you. You have 1, number 2 and 3. You have 3 oysters in there. Donating your shells, and we're going to see what colours come out, my lovely. Okay. 1, 2 and 3. So let's go down. Oyster number 1. We'll start with this one here, which is your either mystery or Halloween oyster. You have a light pop there. Oh, and a runaway icy blue. There's your mother of pearl. However, I can see in here, Carol, your first oyster, and I'm guessing this one is a mystery oyster from your tantalising treats, and you are quadding. There's no more in that one. Let me just dry these up for you and I'll hold them up so you can have a closer look. You have a coral, a dark purple, a runaway, a rose, yeah, it is a rose gold, and a icy blue. So bright deep coral, darker grape purple, rose gold and icy blue from your quadding oyster to start with there. Moving on to your next oyster. There's one side and the other side. And in here you are twinning, and you're twinning with Blurple twins there. So your Blurples are a mix between a blue and a purple, and these ones here look like they're quite a nice size as well. Possibly one is visually slightly larger than the other, but we will, yeah, I do think they are. One is slightly larger than the other. Like I say, we'll measure them. And also they are two-tonal, so they do have this cloud effect, shall I say. So as we go around, you can see beautiful two-tonal, darker and lighter mottled cloud effect there. And again, with this one here, he's slightly darker, but you can see that cloud two-tonal effect again. And then moving on to the last oyster from your tantalizing treats. There's one side and the other side. And in here you have a darker pearl. There's no more in that one. And let me just have a closer look at this colour as well. Ooh, he's a 6.5. He is a chocolate. Okay, so all together, quadding, bright coral, dark purple, rose gold and icy blue, a darker chocolate and twinning two-tonal Blurples. Carol, I hope you're happy with all of those there. If I run them through the board for you, twin number 1 is the visually larger of the two. He's not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5. His twin is not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. The chocolate's not a 6, he's a 6.5. The icy blue's not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. The rose gold's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. Grape purple's not a 4.5, not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. And your bright coral's not a 4, not a 4.5, not a 6, not a 6. Oh, he is a 6.5, sorry. Let me bring you back up. Carol, I hope you're happy with all of those. Oh, I've got a song stuck in my head. It's been in my head for like the last 4 days, I think. And I've even put it on like on repeat, and it just won't shift. So I hope you're happy with all of those colours. You also have a mini sparkle dip, Carol, and you're hoping for a flower charm. Can you have them on hoop fittings? You can indeed. Let me write that down for you. That invoice will get sent through for you tomorrow, and it'll go to the email address that's on the order form. So if we do your mini sparkle dip, let's just give them a mix. And then if I dive in here, nope. Okay, I haven't got any, it's just, there we go. Oh, and they're going everywhere. Is that one? No, now it's one, I think. Okay, so let's just pop all these runaways back in here. Now this one came out earlier. It's going to be like on Sunday night where we had a definite one that wanted to be chose. However, this is your first one out. So Carol, if you're not happy and you would like to risk it and twist it, we can do so. So you have that beautiful dark emerald green crystal heart there. What do you think to this one? If you're happy, you can stick, or if you'd like to risk it, you can twist it. Twist with that one, not a problem. So again, that one's going to be staying out of the bag until after your twist, where it will then get added back in again. So if we do give these a mix again. All right, I'm going to take, there we go, I've got a big pinch. It's because they all sort of spread out, so then I sort of have to gather them in again. Again, they're going everywhere. I can just feel, I'm leaning right forward so they don't sort of slip down the desk. I think that's one. That is one. Thank you. Okay, again, let me just put these runaways. Okay. Oh, now you have, this is the smallest size in this style that we do actually, but it's beautiful. I think the size gives it that more elegant feel to it. Now this is the Raindrop, and it's in the shades of blue. So you've just got, it's all like almost like a denim blue, and it just gets slightly lighter and darker as you go around the crystal there. I hope you're happy with that one, Carol. Let me bring you back up again. And if I put him in here, and then on here for you as well. Carol, I do hope that you'll be happy with everything there. Let's do your trick or treat. So if I dive in to the skull, and in here with your trick or treat, you have a trick. That does mean that there's nothing on the back of that card there, but I do hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. Just pop that safe up there for you. And like I say, the invoice will get sent through tomorrow to the email address that's on the order form. And thank you ever so much for the donations with your shells as well. Okay. Up next this evening is Baron Claire. Baron and Claire, are you here? Or possibly Claire Baron. Sorry, I've read it in the name, the way the name was written here. Claire, you're here. Hello. Sorry, I had a feeling it would be flipped around there, but just in case, I wanted to read it as it was written there. It's your first time. Can you have Toothy number 2 and Dracula number 2? You can indeed. Would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? So Toothy and Dracula are actually next to each other. So Toothy is the second row in, Dracula is the third. So Toothy number 2 and Dracula number 2. So we'll open up, which one did you say first? We'll open up Toothy first, but I'll show you that I've got them both down here. So that's Mr. Dracula and that's Toothy. So we'll open Toothy first and then we'll open up Mr. Dracula. So I'll just, actually, if I put him there, you can see him there. Oh, no. You don't know, don't be sorry. So, keep the shells, and Toothy is for your son. So we'll start with Toothy then. I hope you're happy with this. Are there certain colours you're hoping for? So in here you have 1, you have 2, and you have 3 oysters in there, and you'd like to keep your shells. That's absolutely fine. I will be cleaning the shells as we go, so, and then I'll hold the pearl up after I've cleaned the shell off. So just bear with me. Okay, so let me just get these open for you. And let's go down. So this is Toothy number 2. So in your first oyster, Harry wants apple green and you would like icy blue. Okay, so Harry, you've got Toothy number 2, your first oyster. Fingers crossed for your apple green, my lovely. There's one side and the other side. Oh, okay, so your first oyster, you have a brighter lemon yellow there. Quite a nice size lemon yellow as well. There's no more in that one, so like I say, bear with me. I'm going to be cleaning the shells up as we go, and then I'll be drying up your pearls and holding them up so you can have a closer look. Oh, I think I just heard some rain. So those of you who've watched before, when it rains, sometimes we can hear it on the live. So if that happens, it is a beautiful sound. It's very relaxing. But I'm just explaining that's what it is if you sort of start hearing that pitter-patter sound. So Harry, here is your beautiful larger lemon yellow to start with. Moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in here we have, oh, I was going to say it was a pastel coral, and now I want to say it's a blush pink, but now it's also looking more coral-like again. So I'm just going to clean the shells up for you, and then we'll dry the pearl up and we'll have a closer look, because sometimes once I can actually hold them up off the kitchen towel, I can get a better look at them, at the colouring to them. I don't know, sometimes it sounds simple to try and colour them, but sometimes the colours are right on the cusp with the sort of colour chart that it is. I'm gonna say he's more pink, but he definitely has that coral feel to him. Oh, on the camera he definitely looks pink there. But I will say he definitely in life has that slight coral tone to him. Moving on to your last oyster, Harry. Fingers crossed for you, my lovely. There's one side and the other side. And in here you are twinning. And you're twinning with bright coral pearls there. And there's no more in that one. So again, I'm just going to clean the shells up and then we'll have a close look at your twinning corals. Okay. Are we keeping the shells with your Dracula as well, Claire? Just confirm for me and that will be perfect. So Harry, let me just hold these all up for you from your oyster tantalising treats, Mr. Toothy. So twinning corals, now they definitely visually look different sizes. You've got a larger one here and a slightly smaller one here. These darker bits are just from the sand where I just popped it in the sand quickly. You've then got that pinky coral and that beautiful lemon yellow as well. Donated the second bag of shells, not a problem, thank you ever so much. So if we measure these ones for you, Harry, and then I'll pop these to the side, and then Claire, we can open up your bag. So the lemon yellow's not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5. The pinky coral's not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. The visually smaller coral twin's not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. And the visually larger coral twin's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. So I hope you're happy with those, and I've kept your shells there as well. So then we're going to open up Dracula number 2, and we're donating these shells. So Dracula was sitting there for you. Let's get him open. And in here you have 1, 2, 3 and 4. Oh, I just dropped one. You have 4 oysters in your one here. So let me get these open for you. This is Madam Mim behind me. She's a very vocal lady. I don't always understand what she's saying, and she can make me jump. Okay, so Claire, your 4 oysters from your tantalising treat. Let's go down. Oyster number 1. There's one side and the other side. And in here you are twinning, and you're also twinning with coral twins. These are slightly different shades to the other coral twins that came out a moment ago. There is no more in that one. So beautiful lighter coral twins to start with. Visually slightly different in shades there. You've got a brighter and a slightly lighter one, if you can see that there. Moving on to your oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in here we have a lighter autumn peach, and there's no more in that one. So here is your lighter autumn peach. Yep, I'll do an updated order list once we get to the end of this one that we're on now. So the order list is posted on the page, and then like I said, I'll do an updated order list when we get to the end of the current one. Moving on to your next oyster. There's one side and the other side. And in here you have a candy floss pink. Now this one is definitely pink pink. It's got that beautiful deeper candy pink shade to him. And then you've got one more oyster to go. So moving on to your last oyster, Claire. There's one side and the other side. Oh, you have a icy blue. Now I know one of you was hoping for that icy blue, and I'm glad one of the colours that you guys were hoping for has come out there. I was just thinking, oh no. But you have an icy blue. Let me pop him on here, and then let me hold him up so you can have a look as well. Look at him. Beautiful brighter blue. Now if I pop all of your pearls on here for you, you have got twinning corals, a autumn peach, an icy blue, and a candy floss pink. We've got a Christmas section on the website. New Christmas pendants have been added today in the Christmas section, and they're in the new in section as well. And the candy cane cage pendant from last year, which was very, very popular, has also been added to the website today. However, I don't know if it will last very long because like I said, last year it was very popular. Claire, I hope you're happy with this one. Let me run him through the board. The Candy Floss Pink's not a 7, he's a 7.5. The Icy Blue's not a 6.5, not a 7. He's not a 7.5, he's an 8. Autumn Peach is not a 6, he's a 6.5. And then Coral number 1's not a 5, not a 5.5, he's a 6. And Coral number 2's not a 5, not a 5.5, he's a 6 as well. So they're the same size there. I hope you and Harry are happy with those. I'm just wrapping up Harry's shells for you. And pop your name on here. Can you get the Icy Blue, Lemon, Rose Gold and Pink on hoops for Pandora? Yes, the hoop is the Pandora. So that's the Candy Floss Pink, is that correct? And I'm glad you're happy. So let me write this down. Icy Blue, Lemon, Rose Gold, and I'm going to put Candy Pink. However, if that's not correct, do let me know on hoop fittings. Yes. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll pop them in separate bags now. So Candy Pink, Icy Blue, Lemon and the Rose Gold. Oh, that is lovely. They look really like a normal, what was my thing? Oh my gosh, I can't talk. It's a lovely colour palette there. Gosh, let me pop these in here for you as well, your other pals. So that invoice, like I say, will get sent across tomorrow for you, and it'll go to the email address that's on the order form, okay? You also have a trick or treat. So if I dive in here for your trick or treat. Good luck, my lovely. So in here, with your trick or treat card, you have a treat. You have a 20% off code to use on the website. So if you would like to order again, you'll have that 20% off code to use. It can be used straight away, but also it doesn't have an expiry, so you can hold on to it if you would like to. Thank you for the donations with your shells there, and the other shells are wrapped up and safely up there. So I hope you're both happy with everything once it arrives. No, you're very, very welcome. Up next this evening is Donna Marie Bradshaw. Now, Donna Marie, I vaguely remember, I think you said you've got... You have. Let me just print it off here. And then I'll add them together. So Donna Marie Bradshaw, are you here? And I'm just printing off this order, and then we can add them together for you. Oh, sorry, I went to save it instead of printing it. Don't you, when you forget to change the settings? Right, okay, there we go, it's printing. Donna, yeah, you've made order, perfect, just printing it off for you. It's Harry. Oh, Harry, you're very, very welcome, and I hope you're going to be happy, Harry, once they arrive as well. And Donna, you're here. Hello, hello, hello. So I am just going to, that is the same name and address. Perfect. So shall we do your sparkle dip first? You have a sparkle dip with a oyster opening. So we're going to give these a mix for you. And then if we dive in here, good luck. That is a huge pinch full. Let's just see if I can. I feel like I've got them stuck in my hand somewhere. Okay, so that's the last one there. Pop the Runaways back in the bag. Okay, so with your sparkle dip, with this one here, you get to stick or you get to twist. So I'm just popping it on the board for you, and then you can have a look and you can let me know what you would like to do. Halloween and donate. Perfect, thank you. So if we go down here, you have a clear crystal star pendant. So this clear crystal means, if I just make it go slightly lower on the board, it means that whatever colour's behind it, it's sort of going to reflect that through. So you can see the glove colour there, it reflects it through. Now Donna, if you're happy with this one, you can stick. If you're not happy, you can risk it and twist it. Stick with that one. Perfect. So if I bring you back up, you'd like a Halloween oyster and you'd like to donate your shells. Is there a certain colour that you're hoping for? So your Halloween oyster, let me get him open and let's go down. So in here, you have a lighter, sharper pop there. And there is your mother of pearl. Are you thinking pearl on or pearl off of the jewellery? Now, if I have a squidge in here, oh, you have, okay, you have a darker pearl there. I'll have a closer look to see what colour he is. There's no more pearls in that one. Now, he did look like he had a flash of purple when he came out there. However, I think he's a base chocolate, but he does have that kind of purple overtone and flashes to him. Now, if you're happy with this one, that's perfect. If you're not happy, we can swap him for you. And let me know if you'd like the pearl on or off of the jewellery. Your chocolate's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. And if I hold him up next to this star, oh, you'd like an apple green. Okay, so I've just grabbed this apple green here because it was in the swap pot. Now this is quite an unusual green actually, so let me show you this one. If you prefer a more a less unusual one, do let me know. Now this one looks like he's got a splattering, almost like darker dots covering this, so you can see his lighter, brighter green with these darker, bright apple green spots to him. So he's quite an unusual apple green. So like I say, if you prefer a more solid colour, yes please. Okay, perfect. Sorry, like I said, I just saw him in the swap pot there. So here is the green with those darker spots next to that star. I quite like it with the star. It makes it quite unusual, doesn't it? Are you happy with that combination there? Thank you. No, you're very, very welcome. And I'm just topping up before I even look to see which ones you've just said. Let me just top these up. And Evil Knievel is this one. Okay, so there they are. The board is fully topped up again. Okay, so you would like Casper number 2 and Toothy number 3. So Casper is the first one and number 2 is this middle line. So there's Casper number 2 and Toothy number 3. Toothy's the second one in and number 3 is right at the bottom. So here is Toothy. So Casper and Toothy. We'll open up Toothy second, so I'll just pop him over there. So Casper number 1, you have 1, 2 and 3 oysters in that one. Let me get these open for you. Are there certain colours that you're hoping for? Ever so sorry, I just needed a quick sip. Because I've got the fan going, it gets quite dry. So let's go down. Your first oyster from Casper. Now this is either a mystery or a Halloween oyster. We have a lighter pop there. Ooh, and in here there is your mother of pearl. Now I can see straight away you've got a 2-tonal autumn peach pearl there. And let me have a squidge in here for you. Okay, so there's no more in that one. So your first pearl is a 2-tonal autumn peach, which as you can see here, you've got brighter peach, but as you go around, you've got that beautiful lighter tone. Then it comes back into that brighter tone again. So 2-tonal autumn peach to start with. Moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in here you are quadding. There's no pearls on that side. I'll just move that out the way. You have 1, 2, 3 and 4. You are quadding, my lovely, from your second oyster there. Now let me just dry these up for you and I'll pop them all on the board so you can have a closer look. So we have a icy blue, in between a lemon and a sunshine yellow there, a coral and a bright Cadbury purple. So icy blue, brighter lemon, almost sunshine yellow, coral and a brighter Cadbury purple. Let me just pop these in the sand. And then moving on to the last of your oysters from Casper. There's one side. Your niece has a good choice. And the other side. And in here you are twinning. And you're twinning with, now that almost pinkle. There's no more in that one. I'm going to say they're definitely more like a base pink. They've got that slight pinkle tone to them. Now a pinkle is a mix between a pink and a purple. But I'm going to say that they're definitely more base pink, so you can see them there. Perfect. So if I pop them all on the board for you, and I'll measure these ones from Casper as well. So you've got icy blue, bright yellow, coral, purple, and twinning pinks, and then that 2-tonal autumn peach as well. I hope you're happy with all of those. If I run them through the board, your autumn peach is not a 7, he's a 7.5. Pink number 1 is not a 6.5, he's a 7. Pink number 2 is not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Cadbury purple's not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Coral's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Yellow's not a 4.5, not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. And your blue's not a 4, not a 4.5, not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6. Oh, sorry, he is a 6. So I hope you're happy with those ones. I'm just going to take them out of the sun though, so we don't get confused with your second bag. So then you have Toothy. You'd like a hoop. Let me write this down as I go. Sorry, otherwise I'll forget by the end of your opening. So hoop fitting on 2-tone peach and the purple. Okay, perfect. I've got that down for you. Sorry, so your Toothy bag, you have 1, 2 and 3 oysters in that one. So again, let me get him open for you. There's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's go down. Your oyster number 1, my lovely. There's one side and the other side. Oh, and in here we have a darker pearl. There's no more in that one, and I definitely think he's two-tonal as well here. He's a two-tonal mottled silver and purple. So if I move him round, you can see that he's got that mottled effect, silver and purple there. Almost like the galaxy pearl. Joyce, hello. Hello, hello, hello. I hope your pick is good as well. Moving on to your oyster number 2 from Toothy. There's one side and the other side. And in here we have another darker pearl. There's no more in that one. And let me see what colour he is. Now he's a dark purple again, but almost has that chocolate tone to him. I'm going to say I think he's dark purple with a slight chocolate overtone there. And then moving on to your last oyster, Donna. There's one side and the other side. And in here I can see straight away you are quadding for a second time. And there's no more in that one. Now you've got quite an interesting quadding colour set here actually. Let me just dry them off and then we can have a closer look. They're quite similar in tones, but I think they are different. Let me just clean them off here. Starting to think Mim's got no, she hasn't been shushed just yet. Not quite. I mean, never say never though with Mim. Okay, so you've got quite a similar colour palette with this one. So definitely you've got that dark sea green, and then you've got a light lavender lilac purple. You've got this two-tonal blue, and then this almost silver purple blue. So sea green, purple, then this one's two-tonal like purple and blue. And then you've got this silver purpley blue. So they're all very similar in tones there. They are beautiful. And then of course, if I pop your other pearls on here as well, you've got that two-tonal purple silver and that purple chocolate as well. So it's a very purple based opening, this one, with that sea green flashed in there as well. Hoops on all of these ones, of course you can. The chocolate purple's not a 7, he's a 7.5. The sea green's not a 6.5, he's a 7. The lilac purple's not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. The two-tonal blue purple's not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. The silvery purpley blue is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And the two-tonal silvery purple's not a 4.5, not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Oh Donna, I'm sorry to hear that. What I'm doing is I've just popped the other 2 pearls that you'd like on the hoop fitting. I've taken them out of the other bag and I'm going to put them in this bag. And if I make a little note to pop in the bag, I can just say it's this bag that you'd like the hoop fittings on. There we go. Because that's okay, I've got that down for you. The invoice is going to be sent across for you tomorrow, and that will go to the email address that's on the order form, Donna, okay? You also have a trick or treat as well. So if I dive in here for you, and your trick or treat in here, you have a treat. You have a 10% off code for the website. So again, if you would like to order in the future, you'll have that 10% off code to use. It doesn't have an expiry, so you can hold on to it if you'd like to, but also it should work straight away, so you can use it straight away if you prefer to as well. Donna, I hope you will be happy with everything once it arrives, and thank you very much for the donations with your shells. Okay, up next this evening is Sandra Murdoch. Sandra, are you here? Donna, you're very, very welcome. Sandra, hello. Toothy number 2 and donate. So Toothy number 2 is the second one in here. The middle line. I will top these up in after this opening. So Toothy number 2, my lovely. So you have 1 and 2. They both came out together then. And 3. So there's 3 oysters in that one. Let me get these open for you. Francesca, so I have 3 people, 4 people, because Becky's here, left on this order list, including Sandra, and then I'll be doing the updated order list. So in 4 people's time, I'll read out the order list and I'll write it down verbally. No, I'll verbally read it out and I'll write it down. I'll post it in the comments and on the page as well. So I'll just read it out shortly, okay? I haven't printed it off yet, so I can't just have a quick look. Once I've printed it, I'll be able to have a look for you. So if we go down, Sandra, you'd like to donate your shells. Are there certain colours that you're hoping for? So in your first oyster, just to compare the size here, your 3 oysters, this one's huge. So we'll start with the larger oyster. There's one side and the other side. And with your first oyster, there's no more there. I can see in here you are quadding. 1, 2, 3 and 4. You are quadding, my lovely. And if I dry these up for you, you have a lemon yellow, a icy blue, a coral, and I'm going to put him on this side because he fell through the 6.5. You have a dark purple. So dark purple, lemon yellow, icy blue and coral. Then if I just pop these to the side, we'll move on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in here you have a huge autumn peach, and there's no more in that one. And again, I think your autumn peach is slightly too tonal here. He's definitely a large size there. If I pop him on here, you can see that going round, he's lighter and brighter as you go around there. Let me just clean him up a little bit more. fifth pearl in the oyster? In this one? Oh, I can see what you mean. If you look here, is that the bit you mean? It's the indentation. It's where the pearl was sitting, so it's indented in the flesh there. If that's what you meant. And then moving on to your last oyster, and in here there's one side indentation. Thank you, Sophie. I was never gonna get that. Oh, and the other side. Oh, and in here you have a beautiful bright apple green, and there's no more in that one. Sandra, I hope you're happy with all of these colours here. I'm just popping them on the board. So the one that's just popped out there is that beautiful brighter apple green. Then you've got that two-tonal autumn peach, lemon yellow, darker purple, coral and icy blue. I hope you're happy with all of those. If I run them through the board, the apple green's not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. Autumn peach is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. The lemon yellow is not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. The purple's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. The coral's not a 4.5, not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. And the blue is not a 4, not a 4.5, not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5 as well. You'd like to gift the apple green to Harry. That's very kind of you. I can, let me just grab the order form. I can add it on to here. Claire, are you still here? So just confirm for me, Sandra, that you would like to do that. If you would, like I say, I can pop your green on here for Harry. I'm just popping the other pearls though in here. Sandra, that's very, very kind of you. Not a problem. Claire Barron, are you still here? If not, it'll be a nice surprise. I'll make a little note. Oh, Claire is here. Okay, so Claire, Sandra has donated this, let me get it back out, this beautiful bright apple green for Harry. Okay, so that one's going to be added onto that order and be sent to you, Claire, okay? Okay, so that's on there. And Sharon, yours are safely on your order for you. So I do hope you're happy with those. Oh, bless you. Okay, so just to confirm, Sandra has said, no, it's okay. She doesn't, you don't have to swap one out. She is gifting it across. That's very, very kind of you, Sandra. And Harry says he's over the moon. Oh! Okay, so Sandra, you also have a trick or treat. So if I dive in here for you. And in here with your trick or treat, you do have a treat. You have a 10% off code for the website. So if you would like to order again in the future, you'll have this 10% off code that you can use. It will be able to be used straight away, but also it doesn't have an expiry, so you can hold on to it and use it in the future if you would like to. Sandra, again, that was very, very kind of you. I hope you're happy with everything once it arrives. And thank you as well for the donations with your shells. And that's safe up there for you. We really do, Sue. Perfect. Up next this evening is Helen Williams. Helen, are you here? Sandra, you're very, very welcome. Sorry, my tea's going very cold, so I'm just trying to drink it before it gets too cold. Over 50, Donna. Mugs, over 50 mugs. Cups, we're quite reserved with our cups. We have a couple of glass. Oh no, we have a cupboard for the glass ones, and then we've got a cupboard for the non-breakable ones. But mugs, we've got quite a few. Helen, hello, 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 hello. Helen, you're the first person with this item this year, and I love that. So you've got a 4 pearl oyster and an additional oyster as well. What other oyster would you like? And I'll just grab your 4 pearl oyster. So this is the 4 pearl oyster bag. 220. Oh my God, Sandy, I am jealous. I would love to see your collection. I'm growing mine slowly. It's only in the last few years I've sort of become addicted to buying mugs. Although I don't really have room for more than what I've got. So yeah, that's my dilemma. My kitchen really isn't that big. And Aaron won't allow me to store them elsewhere. So Helen, I've got your 4 pearl oyster here. And like I say, you have an additional oyster as well. What type of oyster would you like? Mystery, and you've waited so long. Oh, bless you. Bless you. Well, I apologise it took me a few weeks to pop it on the website. But no, it's there now. And yeah, when I saw it come through, I was like, oh, I'm happy. So yeah, this item makes me happy in itself. Right, mystery oyster and 4 pearl oyster. Would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? And are there certain colours you're hoping for? So let's go down. We'll start with your mystery oyster here. You have a lighter pop there. Yeah, Kia kind of agreed that I think she's going to open some stinky oysters. Ah! So in here, your mystery oyster. Donate the shells, and you're going to wait and see what comes out. Okay, so let's have a squidge in your first oyster. Oh, okay, so we have a darker pearl there. And there's no more in that one. Sophie, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let everyone watching answer that, because obviously I know where the shells I have go to. So yeah, your shells. Hopefully somebody will pop up and say what they've done with their ones. Oh, and Sophie, thank you, Sophie. Your first pearl out, Helen, is this darker chocolate pearl there. And then moving on to your second oyster, which is your 4 pearl quadding oyster here. If I can pick him up. There we go. So in here, There's one side and the other side. And in here, ooh, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so there's no more in that one. You've got quite bright, bold colours from this quadding oyster. Now let me just dry these up for you. Now Helen, if you're happy with all of these colours, that's perfect. And if you're not happy, we can swap them for you. So it's going to be up to you what you'd like to do. So out of your quadding oyster, you have a watermelon, a apple green, a lemon yellow, and a darker gunmetal grey. And then of course you've got your chocolate there as well. What do you think to all of these? Now, like I say, if you prefer to swap, we can do. If you're happy, that's perfect. So it's up to you. Watermelon, apple green, lemon yellow, gunmetal grey and chocolate brown. If I run them through the board for you, the chocolate's not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. The gunmetal grey's not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. Lemon yellow's not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. The apple green's not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. And your watermelon is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. You'd like to keep them all perfect. I'm glad you're happy with them, Helen, and I hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives as well. Let me just pop your pearls safely on here. Okay, and you also have a trick or treat. So if I dive in and just give these a mix. And with your trick or treat, you have a treat. You have a 15% off code for the website. So Helen, if you would like to order in the future, you'll have this 15% off code to use. It will be emailed across for you tomorrow to the email address that's on the order form. And again, you'll be able to use it straight away, but also you can hold on to it because it doesn't have a expiry date. I do hope you'll be happy with everything there, my lovely, and thank you for the donations with your shells as well. No, you're very, very welcome. Okay, up next this evening is Amanda Taylor. Now, Amanda has left a note here to say that if she's not online, to go ahead and open without her and she'll watch it back. So I will just call for Amanda, and if she's not here, we will carry on to open up her oyster. So Amanda Taylor, last call, and if not, I'll grab an oyster for you. So Amanda, when you watch this back, you have picked that you'd like a cord with your pendant. So I'm going to need to know what length you'd like, because I actually make the cord pendants to size. So if you can let me know in inches or centimetres, and email that across to me with your 5-digit order number. And I'm just making a length here as well, so you'll get an email from me to ask you for the length as well. Also, if I write down your timestamp here, I'll email that across to you so you can watch it back. Timestamp. Oh, thank you, Sue. Okay, perfect. So Amanda has got one opening altogether. We'll go for her Halloween oyster. So if we dive in here. And Amanda, your Halloween oyster, my lovely, good luck. So let's go down. And in here, you have a softer pop there. And there is your mother of pearl. And let me have a squidge in here for you. You have a brighter coral. Now, Amanda, when you watch this back, if you're happy with the colour, that's perfect. If you're not happy, again, just pop me an email over and we'll be able to change the pearl colour for you. Just let me know what you'd like to do. Okay, so here is your brighter coral. And if I run him through the board, he's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5. He is a 7. So I'm just going to bring you back up here. So like I said, I'm going to need to know what length you'd like that cord made to. And of course, if you're happy with the colour of your pearl, I'll be emailing you anyway. So you can just reply to that, unless you obviously beat me to it tomorrow morning. Let's do your trick or treat card. So in here, your trick or treat. And you have a trick. That does mean that there's nothing on the back of that card, but Amanda, I do hope you're happy with everything once it arrives, and that's safe up there for you. Now we've got one more person, then I'll be doing an updated order list. So Becky Leather, Becky, are you here? If you can just bear with me a moment, I've just come across to print these orders off. So, Becky, if you are here, just please bear with me a moment, my lovely. Just so I can print these off. Ever so sorry, I'm just going to pop back. Are you here? You are here. Okay, perfect, Becky. So you actually have a pearly dip, which is, I just need to grab the bag for that. It's just next to me, just underneath. Sorry. It just takes a long time to go through to make sure that everything's printed. I have to go through as it prints it. It's just the way the website works on my end, I'm afraid. Okay, so there we go. I believe that is everything. Okay, so if I come up and back to you, Becky, I do apologise. So you have a pearly dip. Now pearly dips are ready-made items, so the bag is just here. I keep it underneath the desk. You also have 2 additional oysters from your loyalty cards. Not sure it added the note properly. Let me have a quick look. Oh, okay, so if I just have a search for your email, and if so, then yeah, we can definitely add those on as well. We'll start with your pearly dip. Loyalty cards. Ah, yep, that's perfect. Okay, so you've got 2 openings as well. I can see those there. So like I said, we'll do your pearly dip first, then we'll do your 2 openings. So with the pearly dip, I don't know if you can see, but there's lots of envelopes in there which have got ready-made items of jewellery in. So what's going to happen, I'm just going to dive in. I've grabbed a few. I can't see, so I can look. And let's see which one you get. Some are gold, some are silver. So we've got a silver envelope here. It doesn't matter on the colour. There's not a sort of difference to what's inside. It is just the gold and silver envelopes. So I'm going to get this open for you. Okay, so in here you have a ring, Becky. I hope you're happy with a ring. So let's go down so I can show you this ring. Okay, so he's got a beautiful larger Pepsi blue, almost sort of a blurple tone, but I'm going to say he's definitely more Pepsi blue. Now if I show you, go from the back of the ring, this is a 925 silver ring. It is a expandable ring from the back of the ring, so you can see there, and it's got a single band as you go round. Now as we get towards the top of the ring, it actually splits into a double band, and then it gets encrusted with zircon crystals. So you've got the thicker band to this side, and then that slightly thinner band coming off and branching off to the pearl. You then have this sort of wave coming across there and going around the pearl and waving to make the other side the double band, and then that goes into the single band. So if I move this around, I hope you're happy with that one. So if I just pop it like that, I hope you're happy with that, my lovely. So if I pop him in here as well, and if I bring you back up, and like I say, you also have two openings as well. What two oysters would you like, and would you like to keep, and would you like to donate your shells? Very happy with that? Perfect. So two openings altogether. At the moment we've still got all oysters available. Like I said, that mystery bag is slightly lower, but at the moment all oysters are still available. Mystery and donate. Now, are there certain colours, Becky, that you're hoping for? So you have 1 and 2. Let me get these open for you, my lovely. There's 1 and 2. Okay, so if we go back down again, oyster number 1, you have a softer pop there, and in here there is your mother of pearl, and I can actually see towards the side here you have a blush pink pearl there. Now let me just have a squidge in here as well for you. There's no more in that one. So you have a blush pink, if I pop him on the board so you can have a closer look. And then moving on to your oyster number 2, which again is your mystery oyster here. And we have a softer pop there. And ooh, in here there is your mother of pearl. And I can see straight away you are twinning. And you're twinning with, I'm going to say they're more violet twins there. And there's no more in that one. So it's a blush pink and twinning violets, which are this sort of brighter purple pearl. Now if I pop them all on the board for you, Becky, if you're happy with these colours, that's perfect. And of course, if you're not happy, we're going to be able to swap them for you. So you do have one purple, which is slightly lighter than the other there. And here are your blush pink and purple. If I run them through the board, your pink, it's not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. Purple number 1 is not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And purple number 2 is not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. So the purples are measuring the same size there. Fantastic, perfect. I'm glad you're happy with those. Let me pop them in here for you and on there. And then you also have a trick or treat as well. So, oh, this way around, with your trick or treat, you have a treat. You have a 10% off code, my lovely. So again, this code is going to be sent across in an email for you tomorrow, and that's with a 10% off code. You'll be able to use it straight away, or if you'd like to, you can hold on to it because it doesn't have an expiry on there. Becky, I do hope you're happy with everything. That's safe up there for you, and I hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives as well. You're very, very welcome. Not a problem. Okay, so if you can bear with me a moment, I'm going to do a verbal and a written order list. Now, if anybody has written in the additional comments that they need me to see, I won't be able to see that in this first print off, because that sort of needs me to go through the orders again. So if there is anything that anybody needs me to see, do let me know when I come back, because I'm not going to be able to see the comments for a moment, because I'm just going to do this order list. So up next is going to be Sandy Billing, and then Angela Underwood, Sharon Lamb, and Tracy Wilkinson, Linda Southam, and Lisa Nightingale, Francesca Connick, and Chloe Thompson, Margaret Wallace, and Sophie Ogden, and Cassie Seawood. Okay, so, oh, I spelt Sandy, I spelt your name wrong, ever so sorry, okay, so Sandy B, Angela U, Sharon L, Tracy W, Linda S, Lisa N, Francesca C, Chloe T, Margaret W, Sophie O, and Cassie S. So, like I said, this is going to be added to the order list that's on the Pearls of Brecon page. There's going to be a couple of spaces and then that order list, so you can see whereabouts you are, and then I'll pop it in the comments as well so you can see that visually there. Oh, Cara said she placed an order before the live. Do you know what the order number is, Cara? Okay, so I've just had a look, my lovely, and that one doesn't come with an oyster opening. Oh, notes in the additional comments. Let me have a look for you. Sorry, it's just loading again. Okay, let me have a look. Ah, okay, so Cara, where do you sit? Okay, that means Cara, you're actually up next because your order number actually is first. So Cara, if you've sent that email across, we can do that now for you. So let me just have a look to see if you've sent that email. Sorry, I'm coming back to the comments again. So I'm searching this. You've sent the... Ah. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Cara, you've got 2 openings altogether. What 2 oysters would you like? And would you like to keep, or would you like to donate your shells? So Cara has been added in here, and that's just because her order number is first. I didn't realise she had openings with her order, but it does have the openings now. I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I'm just sorting that out. Okay, let me come back to the comments now. Mystery and donate. No, not a problem. Okay, so you have 1 and 2. Now, are there certain colours you're hoping for here? There's 1 and 2. So if we go down, your mystery oyster, you have a light, softer pop there. Oh, there's a tiny bit of flesh. Oh, wow. Okay, so one's just popped out. There's a tiny bit of flesh in there. But you've got 2 beautiful, no more in that one, gold pearls in there. So twinning with that tiny piece of flesh. Look at those. Stunning golden pearls there. And then moving on to your oyster number 2. You have a light pop there. And there's your mother of pearl. Okay, so in here. Oh, okay, so you have a... I'll have a close look at his colour in just a moment. There's no more in that one. He's very similar. He is a gold, but he's a slightly darker gold. So what you've actually got here are 3 golds, my lovely. So if I pop these on here, and then your, oh, no, your lighter gold I'll pop in the first section. So can you see the difference there? These are beautiful, brighter. I don't think it's showing up on the camera actually. They're beautiful, brighter, deeper golds. And then you've got that lighter gold on that side. Now, if you're happy with these, just confirm for me. And if you're not happy, that's absolutely fine. We can swap them for you. So it's completely up to you what you'd like to do. If I run them through the board for you, twin number 1 is not a 5, not a 5, oh, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Twin number 2 is not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. So they're the same size there. And the lighter gold's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. They're gorgeous, perfect. I'm glad you're happy with those. If I pop these in here for you. And then you'll get your trick or treat as well. So with your trick or treat, good luck. So in here, you have a treat. You have a 10% off code for the website. So if you would like to order in the future, you'll get an email address from us tomorrow with a 10% off code. And you'll be able to use it straight away, or you can hold on to it because it doesn't have an expiry date on there. Twins on studs, of course you can. And the lighter one on lobster fitting. Okay, I've got that down for you. Now that invoice will also get sent across tomorrow for you, and it will go to the email address that's on the order form. Cara, I do hope you're happy with that, and thank you ever so much for the donations with your shells as well. And that's safe up there for you. No, you're very, very welcome from me, Cara. Okay, up next is Sandy Billing. Sandy, are you here? Sandy Billing, are you here? Okay, that's that. Sorry if I'm never really looking at the screen. We've got, there's a lot that has to go on backstage, if you like, back office, back here. So yeah, if I'm never sort of looking at the screen straight on, I do apologise. Sandy, hello. Sandy, you have a tantalising treat. Now let me just fill the board up for you. However, I'm just going to bring the pumpkin faces across so you can have a look and you can see what face you would like. So all faces are available at the moment, and I'll need to know what pumpkin you would like and then what number you would like. So the number 1 is the top row, number 2 is the middle row, and number 3 is the bottom row. So what face you would like and what number you would like. The faces you have are Casper, Gnasher, Dracula, Toothy, or Evel Knievel. Sorry, I knocked Mim while I was topping up the board then. There we go. Can you have Dracula number 2? You can. So Dracula is this centre line and number 2 is the middle one. So this is Dracula number 2. Would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? And are there certain colours you're hoping for? So in here you have 1, you have 2, and you have 3 oysters in that one. There's no more in there. Let me get him open for you. There's 1, 2, and 3. Let's go down. Keep your shells and hoping for any colour. Okay, so again, I'm going to be cleaning your shells as we go. Okay, my lovely. So oyster number 1. Mim's mouth moves, yeah. There's one side and the other side. And in oyster number 1, you have a lilac purple. There's no more in that one. So let me just take the flesh off here for you. So if I dry him up for you, here is your lilac purple. Moving on to oyster number 2, again from Tantalising Treat Dracula. So in here, there's one side and the other side. And in here we have a darker pearl, and there's no more in that one. Okay, so in here, if I dry him up for you, he is a darker silver. And here is your darker silver. And then moving on to your last oyster, Sandy. There's one side and the other side. Ooh, and in here you have a larger, darker pearl, and there's no more in that one. So again, let me just clean the flesh off here for you, and then I'll see if he's got any colour to him. Okay, so if I dry him up for you as well. And we're just going to pop them in here, and then I'll pop them on the board for you. So the most recent pearl that's come out is that beautiful, larger, darker pearl. Now he's a dark silver, but you can see flashes of lighter silver and green to him. So you've got this two-tonal silver, this lilac, and this darker gunmetal grey with silver and green flashes. Sandy, I hope you're happy with those there. So if I run these through the board, your darker three-tonal pearl is not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. Your lilac's not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And your silver's not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7 as well. What do you think to those? I hope you're happy with them. Oh, Sandy, I'm ever so sorry. With the tantalising treats, we don't actually do the colour swaps on them, because it's part of the deal with the tantalising treats that colour swaps aren't allowed on them. So obviously with normal orders and everything like that, we do allow colour swaps and it's not a problem. But with this deal, we don't actually allow it. So I hope you'll be happy with these pearls, and I hope you can understand that. Let me do your trick or treat as well. So if I dive in here for you, and in here your trick or treat, and you have a treat. You also have a 10% off code for the website. So again, that's going to be emailed across to you tomorrow, and it will go to the email address that's on the order form. It can be used straight away, but again, you can hold on to it because it doesn't have an expiry date on there. No, Sandy, you're very, very welcome. Let me pop that up there for you, and I hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. Up next this evening is Angela Underwood. Angela, are you here? Kia's not actually here, Bronnie. Kia works in the daytime, so she doesn't work in the evenings. Now, we have spoke about it, and she may be here for some future evening lives, but on a general, she doesn't work in the evenings, I'm afraid. Although she could possibly go on a live in the daytime to open an oyster. Oh, you set her off. Oh, I know, but it goes cold and then I can't drink it. But thank you for the tea. No, I will drink it. Thank you for the tea. Angela, hello. Angela, you have a tantalising treat. Let me bring you back to the pumpkin faces. Which face, Angela, would you like? And which number oyster would you like as well? So we've got faces Casper, Nasher, Dracula, and Evil Knievel. Oh, and Toothy. Sorry, I forgot Toothy then. What do you think? What would you like to do? Dracula number 3. Okay, so if I bring you back here, and if we go to Dracula number 3, Dracula is the centre column here. Number 3 is right at the bottom. So if I take him off here, and you can see that he is Dracula number 3. Now, would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? You have 1, 2, and 3 oysters in that swum. Let me get him open for you. There's 1, 2, and 3. Donate your shells. Bless you. Thank you ever so much. Now, Angela, is there a certain colour or colours that you're hoping for. Let's go down. Oyster number 1. There's one side and the other side. And in your first oyster, you have a autumn peach, and there's no more in that one. So if I dry him up and hold him up so you can see. So here is your autumn peach. Moving on to oyster number 2. I think that's unfair on Kia because Aaron's had slightly more practice than she has. There's one side and the other side. And in here you have a huge lemon yellow, and there's no more in that one. So here is your lemon yellow. Sophie, I mean, would you try open this oysters, Sophie? Because I know you don't like the feel, do you? So yeah, if you was close by, would you, or would you just prefer to watch? Angela, moving on to your last oyster here. There's one side and the other side. Oh, and in your last oyster, you are quadding. I swear Mim's getting louder. You are quadding, my lovely, with beautiful colours here, which already go with the pearls that have popped out already. So if I dry these up for you. And again, I'm just going to pop them on the board and then we can run through. So you have a sea green, a chocolate, a icy blue and a apple green. And then you've got your autumn peach and that yellow. So autumn peach, quadding oyster, apple green, icy blue, chocolate and sea green. And then you've got that lemon yellow as well. Angela, I hope you're happy with all of these, my lovely. It's okay, Sophie, you can be a judge with me. So if I run them through the board, your lemon yellow's not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. Sea green's not a 7, he's a 7.5. Chocolate's not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. The icy blue's not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. The apple green's not a 5.5, not a 6, he's not a 6.5, he's a 7. And the autumn peach is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7 as well. They're all lovely. Angela, I'm glad you're happy with those. You're very, very welcome. Now, if I just pop these all in here for you. And then I'm going to do your trick or treat as well. So good luck for your trick or treat. And in here, you have a trick, my lovely. That does mean, Angela, there's nothing on the back of that card there. But I do hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. And thank you ever so much for the donations with your shells, my lovely. And I've popped that safely up there for you. Oh, I need to have a sip of my tea. Although he's brought a huge mug, which means it doesn't cool down, and then it cools down like instantly, which I'm really appreciative for bringing me the tea. But it's a really, yeah, you have to catch it at the right time to drink it. No, Angela, you're very, very welcome. Although I suppose if I wasn't talking constantly, it would be perfectly fine because you can drink it as and when. It's too hot. Up next is Sharon Lamb. Sharon, are you here? Sharon Lamb, are you here? Sharon, hello, 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 hello. So just topping up the board again here. So you would like Dracula number 1. Again, Dracula's this centre aisle and number 1's the one right at the top here. Sharon, would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? So inside Dracula number 1, you have 1, you have 2, and you have 3 oysters in there. Let me get these open for you. And like I say, would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? 1, 2, and 3. And let's go down. Donate the shells. Perfect, thank you. Now, is there certain colours that you're hoping for? Oyster number 1. There's one side. And the other side. And in here, you're starting off with a bright, bold blurple pearl. There's no more in that one. Now, a blurple is a mix between a blue and a purple, but it's quite a nice deep pearl colour with this pearl here. So if I hold him up so you can see. So you can see he's sort of on the cusp of being a blue or a purple there. Okay, perfect. Moving on to oyster number 2. Again, from your Dracula bag, there's one side and the other side. And in here you have a darker pearl there. And there's no more in that one. And with this one here, he is a darker gunmetal grey, almost black, very, very, very dark pearl there. And then moving on to your last oyster. There's one side and the other side. And in here you are quadding. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there's no more in that one. You are quadding, Sharon. So again, let me just dry these up for you. And I'll pop them all on the board so you can have a closer look. Now you've got a few two-tonal pearls there. So you've got a two-tonal watermelon, a lemon yellow, a apple green, and a two-tonal coral. And of course that darker gunmetal grey and your blurple. So the quads that have just come out, you can see already that two-tonal watermelon there. Apple green, two-tonal watermelon, lemon yellow, and two-tonal coral as well. And then you've got that dark gunmetal grey and that blurple as well. Sharon, I hope you're happy with all of those there. If I run them through the board, the blurple's not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5. Two-tonal coral's not a 6.5, he's a 7. Lemon yellow's not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Two-tonal watermelon's not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Apple green's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And the darker gunmetal grey's not a 4.5, not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. They're lovely. No, Sharon, you're very, very welcome. Let me pop them in here for you. Okay, and you also have a trick or treat as well. So if I dive in, I knocked her. Oh, I can't. Okay, so with your trick or treat, you have a trick, which again, that does mean that there's no pearls on the reverse side. No pearls? No, there's no treats on the reverse side there. But I do hope you're happy with everything once it arrives. Can you have watermelon on a jump ring? Of course you can. Just writing that down for you. Okay, so that invoice is going to be sent tomorrow for you, and it will go to the email address that's on the order form. Thank you ever so much for the donations with your shells, and I do hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. Okay, and up next is Tracy Wilkinson. Tracy, are you here? Sharon, you're very, very welcome. Tracy, hello. Tracy, you have one opening altogether. What type of oyster would you like? And would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? Our largest pearl that we've had is a 9 and the smallest is a 6. Thank you, Louise. Expand the rainbow. Oh, hang on. Expand the rainbow is this one here. Donate the shells. Now, is there a certain colour that you're hoping for? So let me get him open. And Tracy, let's go down. So your expand the rainbow oyster. There's one side and the other side. Oh, and in here you've got a larger candy floss pink, and there's no more in that one. So you have a larger candy floss pink, my lovely. So again, if I dry this up for you, and you can have a closer look if I hold him up in a second. Now, like I say, let me know what you think. If you're happy with this one, that's perfect. Of course, if you're not happy, we can swap him for you. He's not a 7, he's a 7.5. It is for the bats, yes. But what do you think to a candy floss pink? Website is in the comment description above. I'll also pop it in the comments for you. It's pearlswithbrecken.com. Thank you, Sophie. Oh no, that was me. But thank you, Sophie, as well. But that was it. Have I got a darker purple? Of course I have. Let me find the pot for you. I had it earlier, didn't I? This one here. Okay, so have a look at this colour. Let me just bring you back down again. So we're going to go for, I've gone for a nice deep purple. However, if that's too dark of a purple, let me know. It's almost like a blue purple actually. He's lovely. I'm going to pop him in the sand just because he is darker. You can then see, there you go, you can see that beautiful purple colour. Is that too dark a purple, Tracy, or is that one okay? That's great. Perfect. So if I bring you up here, and let's do your trick or treat as well. Which way? That way around. So with your trick or treat, Tracy, you have a treat. You have a 15% off code for the website. So tomorrow you'll get an email from us with a 15% off code, which you'll be able to use straight away if you would like to order again, but also it doesn't have an expiry date, so you can hold on to it if you would like to. Thank you ever so much for the donations with your shells. That's safe up there for you, and I hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. Sorry, I can't get comfortable today. I kind of want to like stand up and just stretch. So I'm fidgeting a lot, so I do apologise, but yeah, I just can't seem to get, do you know when you have those days you just can't get comfy. No, Tracy, well, I hope your daughter likes it as well. Okay, so up next this evening is Linda Southam. Linda, are you here? Oh, tea. Linda, hello. Can you have a Halloween oyster? You can indeed. Donate the shells and we'll see what colour comes out. So you do have one opening altogether. So your Halloween oyster, donating the shells, and we're going to see what colour comes out. So let's go down. Your Halloween oyster, you have a lighter pop there. Oh, okay, so in here, there's your mother of pearl. And, oh, Runaway, you are twinning. And you're twinning with lighter lilac purple twins, Linda. And there's no more in that one. So if I hold these up for you, let me know what you think. If you're happy with these, that's perfect. If you're not happy, I can swap them for you, and I'll just need confirmation if you're happy with one of these to go onto your jewellery. Purple number 1 is not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Purple number 2 is not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. So they're measuring at the same size there as well. But Linda, so the same shade, same size. But like I say, let me know what you think, what you would like to do. Just going to bring you back up. Are you happy with those? One on the jewellery and one on a jump ring. Of course, let me pop that down for you. So we're going to have purple on here. Okay, so that invoice will get sent through for you tomorrow, and it will go to the email address that's on the order form. Okay, so again, if we dive in here for you, and with this one, Linda, your trick or treat. And you have a trick, which does mean that there's nothing on the back of that one as well. But thank you ever so much for the donations with your shells. And I do hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. No, you're very, very welcome. I'm glad you're happy with them. Up next this evening is Lisa Nightingale. Lisa, are you here? So you can have a look at our pinned post on the page. You'll find our live dates there. Also in the events section on our page, you've got our live dates all the way through to the end of December. But we are live every Tuesday, Friday, Sunday, the first Wednesday of every month and the second Saturday. Mostly. Do double check those dates. Lisa, hello my lovely. So Lisa, you have a tantalising treat. Toothy number 2. So you can see Toothy's this line here. Number 2 is the centre one. Lisa, would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? And are there certain colours you're hoping for? So your Toothy has 1, 2 and 3 oysters in him. There's no more in there. Let me get him open. 1, 2 and 3. So let's go down. Your oyster number 1, you'd like to keep your shells, not a problem. Any colours, so we're going to be cleaning your shells as we go, okay. So oyster number 1. There's one side and the other side. And in your first oyster, you are quadding 1, 2, 3 and 4. There's no more in that one. So again, we're going to be cleaning the shells as we go. Then I'll hold those pearls up so you can have a closer look. Quadding with your first oyster there. Okay, so, oh, you've got pinks and purples. So you've actually got 2 candy floss pinks, slightly different shades to each other, but there's not a lot in it at all. You have a lilac purple and a dark deep purple as well. So 2 pinks, a lilac purple and a dark deep purple from your first oyster, which was your quadding oyster. Moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in here, you are twinning. Yet we still do have the natural bag, Sophie. It is just the normal bag, yeah. I mean, they do come out of the mystery oyster bag. However, there's so many different like colour ranges in that bag that it doesn't. We don't see them that often. But no, we do definitely find them though in the normals bag. Okay, so Lisa, you have twinning oysters from your, oh, sorry, twinning pearls from your second oyster. So in here you have darker chocolate twins. Again, these are slightly mottled two-tonals with the silver here, so chocolate and silver twins there. And then moving on to your last oyster from your Mr. Toothy bag. There's one side and the other side. And in here, oh, and you are twinning for a second time. And there's no more in that one. And you're twinning with smaller lemon yellows. 3 oysters, 8 pearls with that one, Lisa. I hope you're happy with them all here. Now again, I'm just cleaning up these shells and then let's have a closer look at your pearls. So the ones which just come out are these beautiful twinning lemon yellows. And then you have your quadding purple, light lilac purple, 2 candy floss pinks, and then you've got your twinning 2-tonal chocolates. You love them all. Perfect. So here they all are on the board for you. And if I run them through the board, chocolate number 1 is not a 7.5, he's an 8. Chocolate number 2 is not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. Pink number 1 is not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. Pink number 2 is not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7. Oh, is he? Yes, he is a 7.5. Lilac purple's not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's also a 7.5. Dark purple's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Then purple number 1's not a 4.5, not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. And yellow, did I call him purple? I meant yellow, I'm ever so sorry. Yellow number 2's not a 4, not a 4.5, not a 5, not a 5.5, he is a 6. Lisa, I'm glad you're happy with those, my lovely. Let me pop them all in here for you. And then I'm just going to wrap up these shells as well. We do. We have a large range of bracelets on the website, yes. And also we've got new bracelets in the new in section on the website as well. Bless you. Thank you for joining us today, Sue. Lisa, let's do your trick or treat as well. So in here with your trick or treat card, and you have a trick on this one, which does mean that there's nothing extra there. But Lisa, I do hope you're happy with everything once it arrives. I've wrapped up your shells as well, and that's all safe up there for you. Sorry, this is my itcher. They are £20 plus postage, Zoe. Okay, up next this evening is Francesca Connick. Francesca, are you here? Lisa, you're ever so welcome. Francesca, hello. So you also have a tantalising treat. I'll give you the faces here so you can see them. I'm just going to top up the board as well for you. So I'll need to know which face you would like and which number you would like as well. So all of them are available. So I've just topped up the board for you. So all of them are available at the moment. However, I will say for everybody, Toothy and Dracula, the last 3 of them of each of them are on the boards. After if they get chosen, I can't top them up tonight because I have no more of those bags ready made, but I've got lots of all the others ready made. Okay, so at the moment, Francesca, all of them are available. So I'll need to know which face you would like: Casper, Gnasher, Dracula, Toothy or Evel Knievel, and I'll need to know which numbers you would like as well. So you've got number 1 is the top row, number 2 is the middle row, and number 3 is the bottom row. What do you think? Oh, bless him. Well, if you have a look at the timestamp now, which is 2 hours and 34 minutes into the live. Tomorrow you'll be able to fast forward to that point so then he can watch it. So Evel Knievel number 1, if I bring you back, Evel Knievel's right on the end here and number 1's right at the top. So if I grab him here and bring him forward so you can see that this is Evel Knievel there. And in here you have 1 and 2 oysters there and 3, and there's no more in that one. So 3 oysters altogether. Would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? And are there certain colours you're hoping for? Miriam, bless you. Thank you for the stars there. Okay, so let's go down. Christy, sorry, thank you for the stars as well. Keep 1 shell, donate the rest, and you're hoping for darker colours. Okay, so with the shell that you'd like to keep, you've actually got a larger shell and then 2 slightly smaller shells. There's not a lot in it actually, but we'll keep the larger shell for you. Okay, so we'll open him up first as well. So in here, there's one side and the other side. And with your first oyster, you are quadding. You have got 4 pearls in the 1 oyster there. And there's no more in that one. Now what I'm going to do is, like I say, because you'd like to keep this shell, I'll clean him up now and then I'll hold up the pearls so you can have a close look. And then we'll donate the other shells. So thank you ever so much for that. Okay, so if we dry these up for you. And in here you have a darker gunmetal grey, a watermelon, a apple green and a icy blue. So darker gunmetal grey, watermelon, apple green and icy blue. I'm just going to pop these to the side for you. And if we move on to your oyster number 2, there's one side and the other side. And in here you have a darker Pepsi blue, almost TARDIS blue there. There's no more in that one. So there's your darker TARDIS blue, no, darker Pepsi blue, almost TARDIS blue. And then moving on to your last oyster, there's one side and the other side. And in here you have a chocolate pearl. And there's no more in that one. Okay, so again, let me just dry him up for you. And if I pop them all on the board, you have your chocolate, you have your dark Pepsi blue, then you have your gunmetal grey, watermelon, apple green and icy blue. He'll love them. I hope he does, and I hope you're happy as well with all of these there. You can see them all on the board, and if I just turn them round this way as well. And if I run them through the board for you, the icy blue's not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. Apple green's not a 6.5, he's a 7. Watermelon's not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Gunmetal's not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. Pepsi blue's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. And the chocolate's not a 4.5, not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5 as well. So to put these ones on hoops, it would be £3.50 for each pearl. So I'm just wrapping up your shells for you, my lovely. Oh, I'm having a tropical moment, guys. So just moving the fan, so if you can hear the fan more for a second. I'm just pointing it at me. Oh, dearie me. So I've just popped your pearls in here as well for you. And I'm going to do your trick or treat for you, Francesca, okay? So if I dive in for your trick or treat. And in here. Okay, so with this one, you have a treat. You have a 15% off code. So tomorrow I'm going to email you with a 15% off code, and then that way you can use it straight away or you can hold on to it. If you would like to order again in the future, you'll have that to use. Can you email me? Of course you can. Thank you, Sophie, that's right. So when you email me, please include your order number, and I'll make a note here to check my emails. And if you decide that you just prefer them loose and you don't want them on the fittings, Francesca, please email me either way, because now I've made this note, I won't send it out to you until I've heard from you, just so then obviously I don't send it off and then you decide you wanted to do something. So let me know either way. Either way is fine, but let me know either way and then I can get it processed through, okay? I've wrapped up your shells here, and thank you for the donations with the other ones. I do hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives, and that's safe up there for you. Okay, perfect. And up next is Chloe Thompson. Chloe, are you here? Not a problem. I hope you're both happy with everything, my lovely. And Chloe, hello. Chloe, you also have a tantalising treat. If I bring the faces up for you as well, all faces are available, all numbers are available. So you can pick from the faces Casper, Nasha, Dracula, Toothy and Evel Knievel. And then I'll need to know which number you'd like. So number 1 is the top row, number 2 is the middle row, and number 3 is the bottom row. Which face would you like and which number would you like? And keep your shells. Okay, perfect. So if I bring you back here, you would like Toothy number 3 and keep your shells. So Toothy is this second one in here, and number 3 is right at the bottom. So if I bring him up for you, that's Toothy number 3. Chloe, are there certain colours that you're hoping for? So you have 1, you have 2, and you have 3 oysters in there. Let me get him open. There's 1, 2, and 3. So let's go down. We'll start with the mystery or Halloween oyster. No particular colours. Okay, so we'll see what comes out and hopefully you'll be happy with them. So your first oyster, and again we're going to be cleaning your shells as we go, okay? So let's have, oh, I can see a slight peeper through the flesh there. Let's have a squidge, and in your first oyster there, you are twinning. And there's no more in that one. Okay, so we're just cleaning up the shells for you as we go. You are twinning with lighter coral twins. Now visually I can definitely see that these are slightly different shades in colour. You've got a brighter coral and then a slightly lighter coral, as you can see there. We'll measure them at the end for you so you can see the size. Moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side. Oh, and the other side. Oh, okay, so you've got a runaway there. However, I can also see you've got 2, 3 and 4. You are quadding with your second oyster there, which again means you've got 4 pearls in the one oyster. Now, if I just take these off of here for you. Okay, and I'm just going to dry these up for you, and then I can hold them up so you can have a closer look, Chloe. Perfect. You have a pinkle, which is a mix between a pink and a purple, a candy floss pink, a lilac purple, and a 2-tonal chocolate, silver and purple. Sorry, 3-tonal chocolate, silver and purple. Oh, let me fit them all on, sorry. Pinkle, candy floss pink, lilac purple, and then your 3-tonal pearl on the end there. And then moving on to your last oyster, again from Mr. Toothy. So in here, there's one side and the other side, and you are twinning with your last oyster. So again, you've had 3 oysters and you've got 8 pearls from them. So again, I'm just cleaning up these shells for you. And these are a dark purple twin. Now again, visually they may be possibly slightly different sizes, but I will, so if you have a look here, you can see that you do have visually one slightly larger than the other. But if I pop all of your pearls on the board for you, and then we can have a closer look, and I will measure them for you as well. Chloe, I hope you're happy with all of these. So twinning corals, one which is lighter than the other, 3-tonal silver, chocolate and purple, lilac purple, candy floss pink, pinkle, and then twinning dark purples as well. I hope you're happy with all of those. And the other end, if I run them through the board for you, dark purple number 1 is not a 7.5, he's an 8. Dark purple number 2 is not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. So they're the same size there. Pinkle's not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. Candy floss pink's not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. Lilac purple's not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. 3-tonal purple, chocolate and silver is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. And then brighter coral's not a 4.5, not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And the lighter coral's not a 4, not a 4.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. No, not a 6.5, he is a 7, sorry. So the corals are the same size there as well. Absolutely beautiful. Perfect, Chloe. I'm glad you're also happy with your pearls there. I'm just popping them in here, and then let me wrap up your shells as well.
There we go. And if I pop your name on here for you and pop your pearls on here. So you also have a trick or treat. So I'm just going to dive in here for you, my lovely. Give them a little mix and pull one out. So with your trick or treat, you have a treat. You have a 15% off code for the website, which does mean tomorrow you'll get an email from us with a 15% off code. If you can use that on the website, if you'd like to order again in the future, you'll be able to use it straight away. But again, you can hold on to it because it doesn't have an expiry. Chloe, you're very, very welcome. I hope you're happy with everything, and that's safe up there for you, my lovely. Okay, up next this evening is Margaret Wallace. Margaret, are you here? Chloe, you're very, very welcome. I will say now, tooth number 3 cannot be topped up. So we've got all of the board apart from toothy number 3. Okay. It will be topped up for the next live. It's just for today. I don't have any more toothy bags ready to go. Margaret, hello, hello, hello. Is there any tricks in the trick or treat box? Because you haven't seen. Yeah, there has been a few tricks tonight. There's more treats in the trick or treat than there are tricks, but there has been a few tricks tonight. So Margaret, hello, hello, hello. You also have a tantalising treat. So if I bring the pumpkin faces across for you. So all of the bags are available apart from toothy number 3. So I'll need to know which face you would like and also which number you would like. So again, the faces are Casper, Gnasher, Dracula, Toothy or Evil Knievel. And I'll need number 1, which is the top row, number 2, which is the middle row, or number 3, which is the bottom row. Gnasher number 2. Let me bring you back. So Gnasher is, I don't think Gnasher's been picked tonight actually. So Gnasher's this one here. There's just one in from the end. Number 2's in the centre. So let me bring him up so you can see. He is good old Gnasher there. So if we get him open, and in here you have 1, 2 and 3 oysters in there. So if we get him open, donating the shells, bless you, thank you Margaret. Is there certain coloured pearls that you're hoping for? So 3 oysters, and let's go down. So if we start with your either mystery or Halloween oyster. Oh, lighter, almost like a softer double pop with that one. Ugh, this one's a mucky oyster. In fact, I'm going to squidge with a baby wipe. I hope you don't mind. There's no more in that one. It's almost slightly stinky as well, if you could tell. Ugh. Sorry, we had a slight stinker then. I didn't want to really breathe. Oh, so I'm just cleaning up the pearl here. Now he is a beautiful pearl, don't get me wrong. It's just that was a little bit of a mucky oyster. But you have a beautiful, where's he gone? There he is. A beautiful, huge, darker purple pearl there. So So beautiful darker purple pearl. Moving on to oyster number 2. No, don't be sorry. What made it worse is I've still got the fan pointing right at me to cool me down. So the fan just sort of wafted it right into my face. So that was, I think that's what shocked me. Right, moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in your second oyster, you've got a beautiful, brighter, icy blue. So if I pop him on here. And then moving on to your last oyster from your bag, your Nasher bag, I should say. There's one side and the other side. Oh, and in here you have a pastel apple green. And there's no more in that one. So if I just dry this one up for you. You have a large dark purple, a brighter icy blue, and a pastel apple green. Margaret, what do you think to those? I hope you're happy with them. If I run them through the board for you, the dark purple's not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. The apple green's not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And the icy blue's not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7 as well. What do you think to those, my lovely? You love them. Perfect. I'm glad you're happy with them. Let me put them in here. And you also have a trick or treat. So if I dive in here for you. And with your trick or treat, you have a treat. You have a 15% off code for the website. So again, if you would like to order in the future, there you go, you have this 15% off code to use. You'll get an email from us tomorrow with the code. It will go to the email address that's on the order form. And you can use it straight away, but you can also hold on to it because it doesn't have an expiry. Can I put them on hoop fittings? Of course I can. Okay, so I've got that down for you. That invoice will also get sent through tomorrow and it will go to the email address that's on the order form. Okay. Margaret, thank you very, very much for donations with your shells, and I've popped that safely up there for you. Okay. Perfect. Up next this evening is Sophie Ogden. Sophie, are you here? Sorry, I think there we go. Hola. Hello, Sophie. Sophie, you have one opening altogether. What type of oyster would you like? And would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? What do you think? Mystery and definitely donate. Bless you, thank you. Okay, so mystery oysters. After this one, there's only 2 mystery oysters left until my oyster delivery comes, which I don't know if it's going to be this week. It was meant to be, but it got put back, so I haven't checked the new delivery date. Oh. Right, Sophie, is there certain colours that you're hoping for? Let's go down. So your mystery oyster. Oh, you have a light pop there. And in here, there is your mother of pearl. And I can see with this one, you are twinning. And you're twinning with darker twins there. Not sure whether to be cliche and go with yellow for black or yellow. Yeah, I can see what you mean. I mean, I quite like the idea of the black because most people go for the yellow. But again, it's completely personal preference. I mean, you could go completely out there and go for like a bright watermelon. Yeah, I don't know. It's obviously completely up to you, my lovely. So you've got twinning chocolates here, and as you know, we can swap them both if you would like to, or just the one, or if of course if you're happy, it's not a problem. So chocolate number 1 is not a 6.5, he's a 7. Chocolate number 2 is not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7 as well. So they are measuring at the same size, same sizes there. Let me just bring those down there. Oh, thank you, Bab. Thank you, darling. Oh, that looks yummy. Oh, it was terrible. Did the kids tell you about it?
Yeah, Rara showed me the cup and went, this is what Mummy made.
It was so bad. Let me just tell everyone. It was so bad. Do you know what I used? I used a teaspoon and just used one. So basically, the kids wanted a hot chocolate earlier. So I was like, yeah, sure. And made them a hot chocolate. But I didn't read the instructions. And it was a Galaxy hot chocolate powder that I hadn't used yet. Because Aaron normally makes the hot chocolates for them. Because they like your hot chocolates, don't they? So I was like, oh, so I didn't read the instructions. I just grabbed a little teaspoon and just put 1 scoop of the powder in. And I made myself one as well. Hot chocolate, put some water in, a bit of milk, and they had cream and marshmallows as well. And I was drinking my hot chocolate like, this is just like almost flavoured water with warm milk in it. And I was like, I can't drink it. And I went in and the kids hated it. And basically I made it all wrong. It was terrible. That looks so much better, thank you. But yeah, it looked terrible. And so they drank half of it, bless them. I felt so bad. I'll do better tomorrow. Right, would 2 fit on the bracelet? Yeah, you can have one either side, or you can have them next to each other. Let me just double check. Let me have a look at the photo. Just because this is one of our newer items, isn't it? Sorry, I don't know if you guys wanted to hear that story, but yeah, I felt so bad on them earlier. Yeah, so you can you can have one at the front and one at the back of the bee. Or you can have them both on either end, on either side. So 2 would fit. I quite like the idea of them both being next to each other on either side. So where the yellow is in the photo, having the black sort of next to that. Next to each other. Yeah, see, we're on the same wavelength. And as bright as possible. Yeah. Oh, look at that one there. It was hot watery milk. It was terrible. I didn't drink, like I had about 5 sips of mine and then I just sort of gave up on it. I was like, that's a real bad drink. And then the kids, yeah, they drank about half of it, bless them. They tried. Right, let's go down and I'll show you these. So in the sand, I don't know if you can see the black there, but if I pop them here, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. If you watched Bee Movie, where he's deciding which top he's wearing in the beginning, black and yellow, black and black, black and yellow, black and yellow. Ooh, yellow and black. Oh, simple things. So that was the movie that that my nephews wanted to watch on repeat. Like they didn't even watch it, but they liked to have it on in the background. That perfect. Sophie, my lovely, I hope you're happy with those. Thank you for the donations for your shells as well. And of course, let's do your trick or treat. So in here. And with this one, oh no, Sophie, you also have a trick. That does mean that there's nothing in there on the back of there. But as always, I hope you will be happy with everything once it arrives. And that's safe up there for you. Okay. And up next is Cassie Seward. Cassie, are you here? It's okay. Oh, bless you, Sophie. I didn't even know the kids told Aaron about the hot chocolates. They probably told him in secret. I feel so bad. I've got to redeem myself. When do you think you'll be getting the bee pendant back in stock? The honey, the one on the honeycomb, Jacqueline. I'd say it'll be at least 3 weeks before it's with me. But that's rough dates. Cassie, hello. Okay, so Cassie, you have a tantalising treat as well. I'm going to bring you across to the faces, and I'm actually just going to top this one up because we do have this bag to top up. So all faces are available apart from toothy number 3. So as always, Cassie, I'm going to need to know which face you would like and which number bag you would like as well. So the faces, as you can see, are Casper, Gnasher, Dracula, Toothy or Evil Knievel. And the numbers are number 1 is the top row, number 2 is the middle row, and number 3 is the bottom row. You are, Kerry, yes. Evil Knievel number 2. Okay, so let's go to Evil Knievel. He's right at the end here. Number 2 is the centre. So Evil Knievel number 2. Cassie, would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? And are there certain colours you're hoping for? So Evil Knievel number 2. You have 1 and 2. And 3 oysters in that one. There's no more in there. So if I get him open, there's 1 and 2 and 3. Donate the shells, bless you. Thank you ever so much. And you're hoping for some darker colours. Okay, good luck and fingers crossed, Cassie, for some darker pearls from your Evil Knievel. So oyster number 1. There's one side, oh, and the other side. And in your first oyster, you do have a darker pearl there, and there's no more in that one. Now he's a dark chocolatey olive green, so he's a 2-tonal dark chocolate, but you can definitely see that olive green overtone. So you can see he gets lighter and darker as you go around the pearl there. Quite a nice sized pearl there as well. Moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in here, sticking with your chocolatey theme, you have a chocolate bronze, and there's no more in that one. So let me dry up your chocolate bronze. And then moving on to your last oyster. There's one side and the other side. And you have another darker pearl, Cassie. You was hoping for darker pearls, and you've got 3 darker pearls from your oyster bag. Now, if I just dry him up and we'll have a closer look at all of these colours together. I do believe actually that is a darker chocolate still. So you've got a dark, deep, rich chocolate, a chocolate bronze, and that two-tonal chocolate and olive green. Cassie, what do you think to these? I hope you're happy with them. Again, if I run these through the board for you, the olive and chocolate pearl is not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. The chocolate bronze is not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5. He's an 8. And the dark deep chocolate's not a 6, not a 6.5. He's a 7. I hope you're happy with those. They're lovely. Perfect. You also get a trick or treat today. So if we dive in here, and your trick or treat, in here you have a treat. You have a 20% off code for the website. That all colours you don't have yet. Perfect. So with your 20% off code, tomorrow you're going to get an email from me, and that's with the code that you can use on the website if you would like to order again. And again, you'll be able to use it straight away, or you can hold on to it because it doesn't have an expiry date on there. Cassie, thank you ever so much for the donations with your shells, and I do hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives, and that's safe up there for you. Your third 20% off code, I mean, bada bing, bada boom. Oh, what's the time? Yep, it's silly o'clock. Oh, dearie me. No, Cassie, you're very, very welcome. I hope you yeah, just keep them safe somewhere. And if you'd like to use them, pop them on. Right, up next is Bronnie. Bronnie Van Leer, are you here? I've got my Alice mug now. This is one of my favourite mugs, but it's a smaller mug. So Aaron's made me a hot chocolate, bless him. Now my Alice mug has got like 3 cups. It says drink me, and then it's like a wonky. Yeah, I love my Alice mug. Bronnie, hello. But yeah, it's not a tea sort of cup because it's very small for me to have a tea. Now, Bronnie, you have a pearly dip. So again, you can see that all in there. And I'm just going to grab a handful out. Now, the different colour envelopes don't mean anything. It's just which one's going to fall. Okay, so you've got a silver envelope here. Is there any type of jewellery that you're hoping for? So let me get this open for you. I spent way too much money on that mug. I think that's one of my most expensive mugs, that one. And it's one of the smallest. Anything, Bronnie. Okay, so let's get this open. And you have some earrings, my lovely. Let me, what type are they? They might be a bit too long for this. Let me see. Let me see how I can show you. Oh, I remember these. Oh, I love them. Okay, so I'm just going to see if I can pop them on here instead of having to thread them through. Now, they do have crystal pearls on them. Now, these are 8mm lavender crystal pearls. Okay, they are stud back earrings, 925 stud back earrings. And these are the ball and chain. So you can see here, you've got this almost like a U-bend chain at the top here. Then coming down to a large hoop, a small hoop, and then your pearl. Then you've got the chain on this side with the weight at the bottom. Now, if you can see here, that's where the earrings at the back are. So this bit here sort of sits on the ear, and they then drop down. They are beautiful. You love them. Perfect. I'm glad you're happy with them, my lovely. Let me pop them in there for you. And on here, Bronnie, I hope you'll be happy with those. And let's do your trick or treat as well. So in here you have your trick or treats card. You also have a treat today. You have a 15% off code for the website. So again, if you would like to order again in the future, you'll have that code to use. It will be emailed across tomorrow for you to the email address that's on the order form. And again, you'll be able to use it straight away, or you can hold on to it because it doesn't have an expiry date on there. Bronnie, I hope you're happy with that, and I hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. No, you're very, very welcome. Up next this evening is Stacey Black. Stacey, are you here? I will say, guys, you've got 45 minutes for the deal of the day before it comes off of the website. So the deal of the day is the bat cage pendant. I'm fine, thank you, Owen. I hope you're well as well. Stacey Black, are you here? Sorry, my drink is perfect temperature. Okay, so I'm looking for Stacey Black. Stacey, if you're here, please type I'm invisible. It will bring your comment forward so I can see you. And if anybody else can see Stacey, please comment on her comments, because again, it will bring it forward so I can see. Okay, so last call, thank you, Sophie. Last call for Stacey Black. If not, we'll move on. Oh, bless her, Jacqueline. Well, I'm glad she's feeling better. Is that when the isolation's up for Halloween? I hope it is, so she can do that. If not, do it a couple of days later when her thing's up. But no, it's brilliant news that she's feeling better. Yeah. Right, I haven't seen Stacey, so we're going to move on. If she does come on, we can add her in again, but it will be to the end of the order list. Up next is Kerry Lang. Kerry, are you here? Kerry. Now, Kerry was here a moment ago because I remember her asking if she's going to be on the lineup for today. Yes, Kerry, you're here. Hello, my lovely. Okay, so you have a sparkle dip and a oyster opening. So if I grab your sparkle dip bag, good luck, my lovely. If I dive in. Oh, bless her, Jacqueline. Well, I hope she can go out. I hope she does feel better. Sorry, just giving these a mix for you. I hope she does feel better. Bless her. And sleep is the body's way to heal, isn't it? So yeah, sleeping is the best healer. Right, I'm going to dive in, Kerry, for you. Going to take a big pinch here, and we're just going to wiggle, 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 and see. Oh, I felt a big drop then. Okay, so you have, oh, I like this one. You have this pendant here. So I'm going to pop him on the board for you, Kerry. Now with this one, you can stick if you're happy, or if you'd like to risk it, you can twist it, and we'll dive in for another one. Now you can only twist once, and you can't have the option to sort of go back to your first one. So it is a sort of a risk it to twist it kind of situation. But of course that is there in case you're not happy with your first dip. So you have the baguette, which is the long, thin rectangle crystal pendant. Now this is the smoky silver. So you can see that you've got the lighter and darker silver there, just as we move the pendant around, just as the light catches it to see what colour it is. The reverse side is like a mirrored silver. So you can see there, it's not the crystal effect, but it does have that mirrored silver. But there is the smoky silver on the front. What do you think to this one? Twist with that one. Okay, so if I pop these in here for you, that one's not going to get added back into the bag until after your twist. So fingers crossed and good luck, my lovely. So I'm just giving these a mix for you. And then Kerry, I'm going to dive in. So I'm going to take a huge pinch again. Oh, missing the bag. Is that one? No, I think that's one. That's one. Okay, so you have this one. You have one of our raindrop pendants. Now this is the colour Golden Shadow. So it's a beautiful colouring. Let me just pop him on here and bring him down so you can see. So this is a Golden Shadow raindrop. Now again, lighter and darker golds as you go through there. What do you think to this one? I hope you're happy with him. Now with this one you do have an oyster opening, so if you wanted the pearl on the jewellery, it will sit at the top here and we'll be able to move around. So you do have one opening with that one. So if I bring you back up, what type of oyster would you like? And would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? When I have my eyes shut, I know, Laura, I know. But I'm sort of just, because obviously, even if I'm doing this with the bag, that's still one bag, but obviously it's rubbing against each other. So I sort of have to really do this without opening the bag to try and see if there's another one. So yeah, it's just, and if I shake it as well, I can sometimes feel like, you can feel like the thud of the pendants, like duh-duh, rather than just the d for the one. Keep and mystery. Okay, so is there a certain colour you're hoping for? So your mystery oyster, let me get him open. And are you thinking pearl on or pearl off of the jewellery? Let's go down. Your mystery oyster, you have a light pop there. And in here, there's your mother of pearl. Now I can see straight away in here, Kerry, you are twinning. And you're twinning with chocolate pearls there. Let me have a squidge in here for you. And there's no more in that one. Oh, I forgot she was still on. You'd like the pearls on the necklace. Okay, so you're actually twinning with darker chocolates here. So I'll hold them up so you can have a closer look. And if you're happy with these, I can pop one of them on the jewellery. If you're not happy, we can swap them for you. Okay, so here they are on the board, and I'll hold them next to your pendant as well so you can see how that's going to look. So chocolate twins on the board. If I run them through, twin number 1's not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Twin number 2's not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. So they're the same size there. And if I hold one next to your golden shadow necklace, that actually does go beautifully. However, like I say, if you're not happy or if you just prefer a different colour, do let me know. You'd like to keep these ones, so Kerry, if you could just confirm for me, you'd like to keep the chocolates and you're happy with one of those to go onto your jewellery. Just wrapping up your shells for you. Okay, let me move that out of the way so we can do your trick or treat as well. So good luck with your trick or treat, my lovely. And in here, with your trick or treat, you have a treat. You also have a 15% off code for the website. So tomorrow you're going to be sent a code to the email address that's on the order form, and then if you would like to order in the future, you'll have that 15% off code to use. It can be used on the website straight away, but again, it doesn't have an expiry, so you can hold on to it if you would like to. Kerry, you're very, very welcome, and I'm glad you're happy with those. Let me pop this safely up here for you. And like I said, I do hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. You're very welcome. Okay, so I've just refreshed the page, and that's actually the last opening tonight. And the microphone lasted. Whoop whoop. We're going to be live again on Friday. I'll keep you up to date with oysters. We've got one mystery oyster left, but all the other oysters are available. So if you'd like to join us again, or if you'd like to order, you'll be booking in for Friday. Don't forget to go onto our page in the events section and click that you're going to the events, because it will then give you the notification when we're going live. Please give us a like and a follow on the page as well. Would really appreciate it. But most of all, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for joining in, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.